Alright, hello, trying this again. For the first time ever, I'm also streaming on TikTok, so there was a bit of technical difficulties there getting everything running, but now I think it's working. I was trying to figure out how to preview the stream on my phone, but I can't find it anywhere, so I don't know. You're just gonna have to tell me if the audio sounds good. But yeah, Retro SuperCollider is what I've been doing for a while. And just last night I had a live gig, actually a whole event that I organized. That was Algorave Helsinki with WHS Teatteri Union here in Helsinki. So it was a whole evening of algorithmic music and related kind of performances. And it went really well. And now the problem is that I packed all my gear and I haven't unpacked it yet, so I'm just gonna actually do that on stream, and then I can talk about every piece that goes into my live setup and how it all fits together. So for some background, I perform on a iBook. That's a 20-year-old Mac laptop running SuperCollider 2 on Mac OS 9. The laptop is down there, but we'll get there eventually. So let me just get all this stuff out of here. Oh yeah, and here's the Zoom recorder I used yesterday to record all of the performances, so that's nice. I'll be posting some videos later, I think. And then here in the other pocket we have a bunch of cables. Okay, where do I start? So maybe this thing here. So this is a Bella, which is a small single board computer. If you know Raspberry Pi, then it's kind of a similar thing, except this one is optimized for audio applications. And the only thing I'm actually using this for right now is translating MIDI to OSC. And that's because, well, I'm using Mac OS 9 and my MIDI controller... Oh, I should actually grab that. So my MIDI controller, which is a MIDI Fighter Twister, is not supported by Mac OS 9 because the controller is quite a bit newer. So in order to get MIDI data into the computer, I have to convert it to OSC. And the role of the Bella in this setup is just that. Sorry, I imagine this is gonna be a bit noisy, but that's life. Oh hey, King Geno says, my old iBook G4 was absolutely stunning back in the day. Oh nice, did you have one of the colorful ones or the newer white one? So I have the G4 with the Apple logo covered by this pigeon sticker. I think this one is quite nice looking as well. Set it aside for now. Ah, 12-inch white airport card. Very nice. Yeah, I actually have a white G3 here as well. I ended up not being able to use it for this purpose because the G3 is a little bit underpowered for running SuperCollider. But it's a nice computer otherwise. I don't have an airport card though. Logic port replacements. Yeah, I haven't actually done any logic port replacement on that one. I did change the hard drive to an SSD, which was quite a lot of work also. Hello, J. Mahuen, or however you pronounce that. I wonder why some computer literate people use Macs over Windows or Linux. Why do you use it? Is it because of POSIX, more privacy? For me, it's partly the fact that I grew up with Macs, so we had them in the family when I was quite young, so like I'm used to the way the OS works. And then also when it switched over to Mac OS 10 with the Unix-based kernel, I kind of grew fond of that. So, I mean, I like Unix systems in general. I would not use Windows as my main OS ever. But nowadays, actually, I have been thinking a lot about what kind of computer I will be using in the future, because my Macs are all quite aging, and eventually I imagine I'll have to upgrade. But the thing about Apple today is they make totally unrepairable computers, and I just don't want to support that. So I don't know what's in my future in that regard. Like, Linux is okay. It's getting better for audio as well because of Pipewire and all that stuff. But otherwise the software isn't quite up to par with macOS. Like, I have a lot of money invested into DAWs and plugins that only run on Mac or Windows, so it would be quite a rough transition, I think. Although nowadays that I'm making music a lot with live coding stuff like SuperCollider and tidal cycles, I mean, Linux can handle that perfectly well, so I don't know. Yeah, the problem with Linux is that a lot of music software isn't so compatible. Yeah, exactly. Although it's getting better. For example, my main DAW these days is Bitwig, which does have a Linux version. But then my favorite VST, which is Reason Rack, that's only for Mac and Linux. There might be some way to run it in like a compatibility layer. I hear that's a thing these days, but yeah, I haven't actually tried that. But yeah, I'm very familiar with Linux as well. I actually use it at work quite a lot and I like it. And in fact, the Bella here runs Linux. I think it's a Debian-based custom distro. I currently have an MVP M1 Pro and it's just a nice thing which happens to be a good laptop. Runs everything I needed to. Yeah, I mean, they are quite nice computers, and from what I understand they don't run as hot as the Intel ones used to, so they can be a bit quieter as well. But then again, you do lose the ability to dual boot Windows, which is something I have used on my Macs in the past. And then there's the whole repairability thing, which is really not great. Okay, so MIDI controller, the MIDI Fighter Twister, really great thing. You have knobs, which also function as buttons. Let me actually get the laptop on here so I can start building up. But yeah, I'm in a funny position where I use Mac OS, but I really dislike Apple, so it's kind of an adversarial relationship in one way, and like pretty much all of my computers are hacked to run newer versions of Mac OS than they officially support. Like my main computer is a Mac Pro, which is currently running 10.14, which is getting quite old as well, but still, like, official support only goes up to 10.11. And it can do newer versions, but essentially you have to Hackintosh, even though it's official Apple hardware, and doing major upgrades on that is always quite a lengthy process, so I try to avoid it until I absolutely have to. And that day might be coming because some software is now starting to drop support for 10.14. Discord, for example, gives me notifications now that you won't be getting updates anymore, so... Trash Can or Cheese Grater Mac Pro. It's the Cheese Grater from 2008. Yeah, I never liked the trash cans because you can't really put stuff in there, like hard drives. I have 4 hard drives in mine. Instead, of course, they want to sell you on the whole Thunderbolt kind of ecosystem where everything is external, and I guess it works, and these days it's probably faster than the PCIe I have in this computer, but would be also quite an investment to, you know, migrate everything to that kind of thing. Which Mac you have now? So I have a few actually. Right now it's the Cheese Grater 2008 Mac Pro. Then I have this thing here, which is a 2005 iBook. But my main laptop that I use for work is a 2013 MacBook Air. Then I have here on the floor a Power Mac G4 Sawtooth. There's also a Power Mac G3 over there, which is not working because I stole all the RAM for the G4. Then there's an iBook G3 over there, a little Mac Mini over here that I got for free, used from a family member, and I might be getting another iBook G4 because I want to have a backup machine for my gigs, so if something goes wrong with this one, then I can just switch over. So far it's worked really well, and that hasn't been an issue, but with 20-year-old computers, you never know what's gonna happen. Okay, I'm gonna plug in this power cord. The old aluminium Mac Pro, they were really nice cases. Yeah, definitely had some dual G5 at work. Nice. Yeah, I don't actually have any G5s, because my interest in PowerPC Macs is mainly running OS 9, and G5s just cannot do that. So never ended up getting one of those. Oh, I also have an iMac G4 over in the kitchen. Not seeing a lot of use these days. It was a music player for a while. Right, so let's plug this in. What will be your next Mac update? Well, to be honest, I don't think I'm gonna buy another Mac new, at least. If I buy something, it'll be used, and ideally it would be one where you can still repair things. But most likely what's gonna happen is, unless I switch to Linux, I'm gonna do a Hackintosh. So basically get some normal PC hardware and install Mac OS on that. I have actually done that before. I have a Mac OS partition on this streaming PC. Oh, you also buy used Macs? Yeah, it's definitely the best way in my opinion. Oh, and apologies to my YouTube and Twitch viewers who cannot see the TikTok comments. I have a thing that's supposed to or that shows YouTube and Twitch comments on the screen. There's not any right now, so you can't actually see it, but I need to update that code to also talk to TikTok so I can get everything on screen. But I'm gonna try to read everything aloud so you can at least follow that way. Keep up the good work. Why, thank you. I will try my best. I like your work. Thank you, thank you. Happy to hear that. Although this stream is just setting up so far. It's very creative. Thank you, I try. What's a Twitch username? It's Pulu Sound. I can write that in the chat. If I can type in the right window. There we go. Okay, so the annoying thing about this Bella is powering it, or specifically powering the USB stuff that I connect to it. I need a power supply for the Bella and then a separate one for the hub that everything connects to. Also, just to talk about last night's live event at WHS Teatteri Union here in Helsinki. I was really pleasantly surprised by how many people came. We pretty much sold out, I think, and seem to be quite a few people who are not like previously into the Algorave or live coding scene, so it was nice to reach also that kind of audience. And I don't know how exactly everyone found out about the event. Maybe it was my TikTok, maybe they heard about it from a friend, maybe they just go to the venue regularly and heard about it that way, but either way, really nice. Okay, then we're gonna plug in the Ethernet cable on this. And this is how it plugs into the iBook, so we can communicate over OSC. Because none of my iBooks have an airport card. Never been lucky enough to get one of those. Although these days I don't think they can actually connect to any modern networks anyway, so doesn't matter much, I suppose. Okay, then we need to power the Bella. Then we should get some nice lights showing up here on the controller. Maybe. There we go. Let me just update my music playlist here. Yeah. So we have power to the MIDI controller, although it's not really doing anything yet, because obviously the iBook isn't powered up. Here's an HDMI cable. I'm gonna need to get the video output. And as an audio interface for the iBook, I'm using this Griffin iMic. It's a very simple one input, one output device, but this is the only thing I have that actually works with Mac OS 9. And then I don't plug it in directly, but it goes through this USB isolator, which helps prevent ground noise or ground loop noise, which can happen when I also plug in the mini VGA cable to get video output from the machine. That was an issue on one of my streams, so I was happy to find out about this isolator that pretty much solves it. Although